pulled here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the thoracic spine today. And what I want you to try and understand or relate is how could the thoracic spine and tightness and restriction in that middle part of your back, so in between your shoulder blades, relate to problems that are then coming through into neck issues, shoulder issues or low back issues. If you're getting recurrence of problems, if you're finding things settle down and then return, if you find that your neck is sore at the end of the day, the thoracic spine can really be a center of the problem. And if not addressed and movement improved and strength improved, you'll start to find that things reoccur and you're starting to load. So let's just go through a couple of little examples of how that might work. So if I look at my thoracic spine, if I'm standing here, I can lift my arm through nice and smoothly. I can get up pretty much up by my ear. If I tighten, now this doesn't happen in an instant, it happens gradually over time, but just to exaggerate, if I slump through my thoracic spine, so I hold that tight, I now can comfortably lift my arm. I can't go any further. So I'm already starting to stress. Now the body is very task focused, so I don't go from here to here instantly. So what will happen is as I start to lose my movement, I'll increase my shoulder movement by stressing other tissues or changing pressure in other tissues or increasing movement in my shoulder blade to get the movement that I need. So I'll still get the movement and that creates pinching and could create impingement type problems around the shoulder that you might be experiencing. If we look at the neck, again, if I'm sitting in a good position, my neck sits in a nice comfortable position on top. If I start to slump, to stay looking ahead, and this is what happens to us over the course of the day as we're sitting looking at our computer, my chin starts to poke and I start to increase that loading around that mid-neck area where we get a lot of pain that comes through that area, and I start to load the muscles through this top part of my shoulder, and that's going to increase that shoulder tension, stress, headaches, all those sort of things can come from it. But it's thoracic spine that's driving as we get tight and we lose the ability to extend back out and get back into a nice neutral position and are there during our movements. Looking at below thoracic spine again, if I start to collapse down through my thoracic spine, my hips can push forwards and I can increase the load into the low back. So three big joints, big areas that we see a lot in the physio clinic. People with pain, impingements, neck problems, headaches, back issues, leg pain, all being exacerbated further by the thoracic spine not moving well, being held in positions where it's flexed and closed down, and then slowly over time losing the ability. The muscles, the myofascial stuff at the front tightens and restricts movement, the joints stiffen and tighten over time, so they lose movement, and then you start to load those other areas. So it's really something it's worthwhile looking at, especially if you're having recurring problems. And I'm going to show you a nice way now just to try and release out some of that tension. If you start to find some benefit from that, then there's a lot more that you can probably do in this area to help you look after your neck, back, shoulder issues as you go along. Okay, good. So we've gone through why the thoracic spine might be influencing some of your other pains or problems that you're experiencing. So I want to give you one thing, and this is really just to start to mobilize the thoracic spine. The key is getting some mobility back, but also doing some stability work, some strengthening of the muscles so that they maintain that posture. That can be changing how you're sitting and making yourself aware, but also some retraining exercises as well. But you need to work out exactly what needs to be addressed for that. So you'll need to see somebody to get to that point. But to start with, to get some movement back, I've just got a hand towel, and all the hand towel actually works really well because it's a little firmer. Fold it in half, and you're going to fold it in one edge and roll it up nice and tight, and you're going to end up with a slightly thicker end. And you're going to lie, you can do this on the floor, it's probably better if you want to lie on your bed, you can lie on your bed with a pillow under your head, and you're going to lie with the towel sitting about where the t-shirt is coming down. It's going to come down between your shoulder blades so that your spine can unwind over it. It'll release the muscle tension, so it's a really good thing to do at the end of a day, particularly if you've been sitting at a computer all day at a desk. That's when you tend to build tension up around this area, so you can unwind that. So if I just jump on here, down the middle of the spine, And then I can open up a pillow to support my head so that I'm looking straight up. And I can let my chest open out over the towel. I've got my knees up so I can keep my back in a relatively neutral position. And then you can do some simple arm movements, and that will just increase the stretch for you. Single arm, and you can see I'm not forcing the range, I'm just going into what feels comfortable. I can really feel that unwinding. I can do a little bit of work with both. You want to spend 2 minutes to 3 minutes on this, and if you do that regularly, you're really going to start to change the fascial tightness across the front and the structural joint tightness around the back. It's a simple way to start to try and improve the mobility in that area. And as I say, if you add the strength on top of that, you're going to really change the dynamics and pressure and load that's going into neck, shoulders, back, and that will really help you long term.